afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Select Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossing in the Woods. But the setting is the Eastern Front in 1944. Well, the war, of course, rages at full strength as the German army tries to stabilize here alongside a rather shallow series of rivers. Within the south, we got whatever here, which I believe is a top 40 Wehrmacht player with Jäger Infantry, German Mechanized Lightning War, fighting for Deutschland. Here taking on the role of the 7th Panzer Division. Whereas the north, we got Babyubu. I have no idea what rank he is, but I'm assuming he's a reasonably high rank as well compared to whatever. But with Garmo, Gart Rifle and Shock Rifle here for him with double conscript builds. No, here's sign of special rifle conscript coming in. There's going to be a conscript here build. So we're going to see 4 conscripts minimum, which could maybe indicate Gart Rifle. Could also go mean Gart Motor, Gart or Shock Rifle. It really works all the way there. Going to the MD42 side for whatever. Pioneers, MD42, they're working together in unison. So that way form a small combined arm singing westwards. Whereas whatever's going to do is something about here, but they seem to be still moving westwards as well there. 3rd conscript squad on the way there for Babyubu. I'm just going to call him Boris. Boris, this just, it feels weird. Boris, anyways, moving ahead there. Grenadier, more on the way there for what MD4 sitting up there. Note the way sort of managed to set up so the slight units they actually grab the point, but the machine gun itself sort of pointing in such a manner it'll sort of cover a wider area. But then shifts about again there. Pioneers moving in. And Pioneers closing in, and without the machine gun support there, they do not stand much of a chance. Grenadiers, they're actually sneaking up behind a bold early maneuver here, but whatever. Basically takes advantage of everything being focused is a creep up, occupy the house, which is actually a real nasty thing to do. Machine gun trying to position here, setting up behind some old boats. And they're going to use going to be caught. We got conscript moving up here, going to go for the calf point, going to do something to intercept here. They're going to just got flanking up behind the engineers and there going for the deep flank on the MD4 to a good move there and by Boris, or at least it would have been if the machine gun wasn't set up in the way it was. And there we go, halted right in the neck of time there. Boris finds himself with a gut full of lead. And the rest might soon follow on to the great big Soviet in the sky. Conscript flank up behind here, getting to the house the Grenadiers occupied. Conscript engineers taking heavy losses in the Far East, though. Boris there is making stout progress with the conscript squad so far, not encountering any resistance. I heard there was supposed to be Germans here. Yeah, looks like the old ran away. Yeah, I imagine the other guys are not having a hard time. Meanwhile, on the other side of the front, Petrov crawls around in the muck, desperately begging for help. Trouble Grenadiers there for whatever with the MD42. Boris here with early medics right after the 3rd conscript squad here. Down here for whatever, got nothing further going on. No tech up as of yet. He might be planning additional Grenadiers. Another MD42 could be thinking about a mortar, though might not be that. We got support company, so it looks like he wasn't quite planning a full heavy conscript build, just initially something there. Might be a Maxim here to support his conscripts, or could be going for a mortar to try and counter whatever's machine gun. Those are certainly a few possibilities. In the east, we got conscripts there finding counting German resistance and are being forced away as well here, as whatever continues to make progress in the west for the fatherland. Grenadiers slowly move up here, past the expired bodies of Russian infantry. Still no tech up there though. Quadruple Grenadiers MD42 does look a bit like a tier 3 rush, but obviously he actually goes for it. Mortar on the way there, Boris, with a 4 Grenadier build there, he might want to consider at some point going for Maxim as well. Still, the mortar is going to be helpful as the machine gun. Plus, I mean, depending on how whatever uses Grenadiers, the mortar can also be useful there. Grenadiers being forced back to the flame for proving to be quite a deterrent for the Germans occupying. In the east though, fuel being cut off there. Boris does have to consider to push ahead here. I think you should just push harder eastwards, try to flank about here instead of just, wading right into the line of fire of the MD42. I mean, his job is not here to provide practice from the machine gunners. Mortar moving up, conscripts heading eastwards. What will Boris go for next? Who knows? But Boris, I hope. Grenadiers watching on the centre victory point is so far a pretty rough start for the Soviet army, as the German launches a rather nasty series of attacks here, catching Boris completely off guard. Rogan machine gun under mortar fire. Clearly not anticipating this earlier mortar. Most surplus bar will not go for mortar this early, though of course he's quick to respond, falling back with it. Gonna do this repulse, but he's now trying to flank behind. He's going to push eastwards. What will Boris do versus whatever? And what will whatever do next? Whatever, though, I mean, really an inspired name, or whatever. It's almost like he's just trying to defeat the enemy with passive aggressiveness. Yeah, like, whatever. It's not like I want to do this. Well, actually, I kind of do, but that's another story. Anyways, they constantly need to fall back. Shots being fired, and there you go, forced away mortar there with 1 kill so far in the east, though, successfully pulling it off, grabbing the centre victory point as well. The western front is so far not progressing frightfully well here for Boris. Whatever, though, is holding it quite nicely, though, it's taking some casualties. Now we go, we got Motard here for Boris. Guardsmen arriving, not enough initiative for the DP light machine guns, they're going to have to do it with good old-fashioned rifles and swears. Mortar there caught by the Grenadiers and using the Grenadiers as well. Rather extending his line quite aggressively here, though whatever sort of reposition to deal with that a bit more efficiently. Going for the Coh2 on there again. Whatever keeps up harassment, he doesn't just try to barrel all his forces down at one spot. If he's got a lot of infantry, he tries to use that as an effective manner as possible. To on the way here, that's going to put more pressure on Boris, though the Guardsmen will be helpful here though for Boris in dealing with that. Sometime off and get the DP light machine guns going. Whatever has so far not considering light machine guns. Of course, going to need the medic bunker up first, so that's 1 light machine gun less, at least for now. Push it with the heavy machine gun team and the Grenadiers charging force. The machine gun probably should not be doing the charging first. That should be the Grenadiers, drawing the fire for the machine gun crew. Whatever they seem to have gotten is slightly backwards. Mortar fire though raining down like high explosive drops of rain. They big drops of rain. Machine gun then almost popped out here by the mortar. Boris there applying some nice pressure there, though he's still not getting a lot of fuel, and that's going to be a massive lead, of course, for whatever. Already at 29 fuel there per minute, whereas 10 and 9 there for Boris. Concerts push back, and we got the guys pushing against the Grenadiers. No deep light machine, that's just in fact further back here with the grenade. Does kill Heinz, but does mean he's not going to be killing the rest of the chaps nearly sufficient. There you go, mortar round though gets the full wipe. They're turning this around pretty nicely there for Boris, leaving whatever short 1 Grenadier squad. For the time being, depleted of manpower just a bit. Got the 2-2 rolling ahead here, straight through the trees and mostly shrubbery. Flying away at the Bolsheviks with the auto-cannon action machine gun, hoping to snuff out as many Russian lives as possible. No doctrine sign here though for whatever. His passive aggressive behaviour towards anything continues to mark him, I guess. Guardsmen reinforcing, good to go, healing up as well. Will he go for field gun? Will he go for more guardsmen? Whatever shall Boris do here versus whatever? Really? Did he just have to choose whatever as a name? And the thing is, it's not a unique name. Like, when I tried to look out on leaderboards in the first place, it's like a whole slew of people just name whatever. It's not even a very original name. That's just kind of, just takes, the whole biscuit. It's a really just, name, and then just, it's not even very original. It somehow feels fitting. Like they can't even be asked to do that. Anyways, double 2-2 here for whatever. An aggressive motorized approach here. You do see double 2-2s from some players. Can be quite effective used correctly. Less used effective, of course, it can be a bit costly, and you do still pay a lot of fuel and some manpower for it. So inefficient utilized, it can take you back when you're just pushing fast towards tier 3, which is usually what you want to do as the Wehrmacht. More guardsmen out there for Boris. That's going to increase the chance here for the 2-2-2s though. Still, he's keeping Boris here contained, locked up, on the defensive, which is good. The longer you keep doing it, of course, the more he has a chance of actually pulling ahead and getting out some armour. But again, so far, it is not quite happening. I mean, I'm guessing Boris is just going to try and build up a force, then try and push out. The 2-2's of course being a bit of an issue, but again, he's interesting enough to just mostly focus on pushing down. I mean, he's got the fuel point, but even then, I kind of feel like he'd have more success just make a bigger push through here in the east, and then sort of swung through there. And instead, he insists on attacking right through whatever is strongest. Pioneers are taking some man losses, not exactly the best position to be in. More to the landing, further hits. Got 3 kills, veteran 1 so far here for the motherland. Back here, healing and forcing going on there for Boris. No tech up yet. And we got S-Mans up here wiping out the entire engineer squad because apparently no one brought the bloody minesweeper. That's a nice win there for whatever. Also good use of S-Mans. A lot of players tend to neglect them, but as you can see there, used in the right spot, they can be quite effective. I definitely think though Boris needs to reconsider his tactics. I mean, so far he's just feeding into whatever and just giving some really nice target practice for his men. I mean, so far his biggest luck is that whatever so far is not taking up an awful lot. Comes to the swarm and they're going to lead force on the way here. Machine gun turns about to deal with that. Mortar needs to get on it fast. He can continue smoking there in gen, but there you go, falls away anyways. Gassman there, slowly bleeding out. They're going to do this very slowly, but it is happening. It is happening. And there you go, finally push back. Whatever for now. 2-2's being repaired up, needing some. Whoa. Apparently he was considering taking up, but decided against it. Nope. There we go. Might have been Pioneers, and then just decided he does actually want to take up. By the way, the Suprema Court is happening there for whatever, and the 7th Panzer Division. And there you go, TP light machine guns showing their worth here. The Guardsman with him, even popping in hit the dirt to increase the firepower and even the range a bit. Gonna use this, suddenly find themselves under a lot of unpleasant pressure, and there we go, roughing it off. Does some damage, but the Grenadiers ultimately are in a much worse state here. And we could even see a small chance of wiping the Grenadiers, which is quite beneficial for Boris, particularly in order to get the light machine gun off the Grenadiers. Oh, bad luck there for Boris. Last man running away, they gets it to safety, alongside himself as well. Field gun on the way as Boris at this stage of course realises he's got no illusions about whatever not pulling tanks on him soon, so he needs a field gun to sort of really stop them. I mean, the double guardsman can sort of slow down a tank a bit, but it's not exactly a massive deterrent. And he goes for like a ton of guardsmen, that could lead to its own sort of problems if he's not careful. Bit more rationing down there south by the fuel pump, I think a pretty good idea there for whatever. Flares off, gonna be taking man losses, nice money there from Boris. More DP light machines up for the guardsmen, ready to take on the scourge of fascism with bullets. 2-2's I think being used to actually clear out mines. I mean, versus flare mines, they don't exactly take any damage, so using those mines for that is not a half bad idea. But Boris is slow cream hit again. He keeps losing these 2 points. I mean, whatever's very focused on again, each time he's just not pushing eastwards at all. Again, not even say getting the eastward mines, which is to do it. I mean, he's just attacking across this narrow front time and time again, which is very much the advantage, I'd say, for the most part of whatever. Means he has less to worry about defending. But there you go, got the field gun hammering away. Almost got one, 2-2. Can he get it? Can he get it? Oh, and never mind, shot a wall instead. And there you go, almost got to wipe the mortar, gaining better 2-6 kills for the motherland. Self-repairs up there for Boris, no sign of tech, he really should consider that soon, if possible. But again, launching himself head on at whatever, beating up map, having got the full means he can't easily go for it anyways. But there you go, gonna do some pods as well. Boris is slowly but surely extending the front line a bit. Diminishing the foothold of the Wehrmacht. And there you go, whatever, going here for a 14-minute Panzer IV versus 1 field gun and 2 guardsmen. That's going to be a bit of a challenge there for Boris, though it can be done, it can be done. There you go, to the true repulsed, field gun getting off an amazing hit versus it, almost taking it out. Good Pioneer moving up there with the Flammenwerfers in hand. Machine gun continuing to come, get the pack 40 further behind. So there's 3 moving about, and back at base, we finally got the take. We also finally got moving towards the east. Still no minesweepers, apparently learned nothing from the last time. Then again, he might just figure the engineer squad did the job even in death, and so you can go, alright, I'm sure the fascists have laid down no more mines. They could surely not be inspired by the first few mines effectiveness to go for more mines. I mean, that's ludicrous. Who would go for something that worked? Oh, wait. But interesting enough that whatever hasn't been laying down more mines, which is interesting. I mean, he might have been able to get off from some more wipes versus Boris, to be honest. Machine gun pack falling back. He got the Panther on the roll. He needs to be careful though. He is extending it very far into enemy territory. With so far no way of getting it back if it hits into any problems. And this is pretty much just hoping beyond all hope that the opponent hasn't mined or anything there. So far though, set hope pays off. It really shouldn't have the for him though. But there you go, Fielding gets off a good flank on the Panzer IV, penetrating the side armor easily. And he's advancing here past the flare. Field gun being slightly fallen back, but we can see they're now finally pushing into these, finally extending territory more aggressively, and finally forcing whatever to into more than just a small part of the front here. Seems like Boris has been slightly awakened here. And it is pulling here and there, go roughing it off. They've really bunched up. Heavy carbonus helps up somewhat, but ultimately not quite enough. And oh, there we go, mortar round thrown down there, saves the mortar crew itself. Damn good there for Boris. But yeah, continue good progress in the east. Of course, now the Germans are going to counter-tank here with the 2-2. No mines down here though from Boris. Guardsman holding up behind the heavy cover, but he's got both fuel points. He's got the tank-to-tank command up, but at this stage he probably is better off just going for the mechanized armor company here. And going for the Soviet fist of Soviet liberation, the T-34. Sandbags down there, machine gun opening up, though with incendiary pistol rounds nicely timed there by whatever's tearing through the conscripts. Shredding Petrov and possibly Dmitry as well. There you go, 2-2 on the roll there, going right through them. Kaba crumbling apart under the unyielding fist of fascism. And there we go, Panther warming up and getting to the conscripts there as well from the other side. Pinman machine gun ready. And field gun. Apparently shot a dart there. Petrov, that was my lunch! Sorry. I don't want to hear sorry, I want your lunch now. Oh no, not again. Still not take it there further for Boris, but again, the increase in infantry there does help out. Keeps whatever slightly more unbalanced. Of course, the Panther IV makes these to counter-attack. Now, whatever is going for a 17, almost 18 minute there snipe. An interesting choice there. Curious as to what spurs this on. In terms of development, Guardsman there versus Grenadiers. Grenade off, here gets the Grenadiers. Oh, but they take too much damage out in the open. The light machine, of course, proving to be too formidable. And there you go, got another light machine turning in. Oh, he's going to go merge here with the Guardsman using the conscripts. Very nice move here. And he hits the dirt, so they quickly hit the dirt as well. And that should give him the chance against the Grenadiers. Might have to merge just briefly once. No, just into retreating. Conscripts also drawing the fire of the Grenadiers line, the Guardsman and the newly inducted Guards. Oh, gets a wipe still. Same with the Guardsman, same as much more important. We got the Panther moving up, Grenadiers taking heavy damage. Shot fired, and the rest of the unit just falls back. Hoping to avoid the fate of the conscripts there. In the Coh2 tank command, or mechanized armor company up there for Boris. For the, I've got to give him a name, 20th Tank Corps, and he loses the Guard Squad in the end anyways. The Panther IV and the 2-2 pursuing aggressive, plus the Grenadiers come on the retreat path. Rather leaves Boris in a bad spot. He's just down to 3 units now here in terms of infantry. Very big push here for whatever, who can actually soon go for another Panther IV easily. He could also try taking up. You could also try going for doctrine. But there's still not really much happening there. And not too far from T-35%. It's going to be pretty effective right now here versus whatever, due to his overall lack of any heavy armor. And there you go, conscript squad wiped. He's just down to 2 infantry squads now. Boris and the 20th Tank Corps is taking a thrashing. Like a misbehaving child. And these are conscript pushing the back in the South Guards. They're fighting it out, hitting the dirt again. Getting some kills on the Grenadiers. There you go, retreat. He can't afford to lose any more infantry. He's going to be having a hard time enough replacing the losses he's already suffered without, you know, digging himself deeper into a hole. And there you go, whatever. Finally, you know, decides, you know, go beyond whatever and go for, well, something. And ends up here with a lightning war. No big surprise, there's going to be a Tiger tank here versus Boris, who's already in the backfield, in which case a Tiger tank can be quite effective. Of course, it still does give Boris more time to actually assemble some sort of counter force and push back with. Though it's not going to be straightforward for sure. Panzer avoiding eastwards. T-35 halfway down there for Boris and the 20th Tank Corps. Whatever they're just securing the front line. Not laying down a lot more mines though. No sandbags either. Grabbing the eastern fuel and hits a flare mine. Poor Fritz just drops dead. Lost the sniper though. Ah. Oh, tell might sound no good, but he... What? Did he lose the sniper to a flare mine? Guess I missed that one. Could have been a lucky mortar round. Not a mortar round. Curious. Would have been funny if it was a flare mine. I'll wait. T-35 is ready now for Boris. It's going to come down to how he uses this. I mean, if he uses it poorly now, it's going to be absolutely GG, game over. Good usage of the T-35 could prove to be crucial here versus whatever. Guarding the Pioneers, saying F5 and Grenadiers. More Grenadiers pulling up here on the flank, and the Guards got the T-34 moving in. Finally on the move, mobilized. And there you go, more Guards from for Boris as well. Grenadiers finding their position quite exposed now. As the armored fist of Stalin bears down upon them. And straight to him up. Avoids it. Good, good. Fun fact, the Russians actually tried a T-34 model with a larger gun, the T-34 on 122, but it turns out the gun was just too big for the tank and couldn't really use it effectively. Pack 4 lands good here on the T-35, forcing it back. Panther 4 on the move. It was actually T-34 100. Both. And it's still moving up. The Guards on the heavy fire. Panzer 4 shoots, misses spectacularly. Field is setting up. T-34 lands a good hit. And we got buttoning up here. Slowing down the Panzer 4. Giving here Boris the best chance of taking out that fascist tank. Almost got it. And yes, Panzer 4 cooked up like a poor kettle of tea. And we got into tank air support in here from whatever. Desperately calling in the Luftwaffe to avenge his precious Panzer. Yeah, they like totally busted my Panzers, those assholes. I feel really aggrieved about this, and I want it dead, plus any other Russians in the nearby vicinity. Danke. Guys, I'm waiting back there for healing reinforcement. T-Fiddle's going to need some repairs. Ooh, direct hit from the mortar on the 222. Had that been the actual war, the 222 would likely not have survived it. In fact, most armor was quite vulnerable to artillery. Even mortars could actually do quite a bit of harm. They took a direct hit from it. Grabbing points here and there. T-54 almost good to go. Whatever is not too far from a Tiger tank. What you need is anything for Boris to help with the repairs. Very good. Comparatively, whatever's only got one Pioneer squad to really do the repair work. Definitely not a solid number. Also, Boris needs to remember there's an east side of the map again. He seems to have forgotten. Map-related amnesia, possibly. T-54 though is good to go. Whatever they're calling in the Tiger tank. Summoning support from the 506th Schwere Panzerabteilung. Gunners getting bombarded here by the field gun guards moving up. Tiger tank rapidly rushing out there for whatever. Pin map machine being added. Very good. Sniper planning coming fire here from the tree line. Popping the heads of numerous Russians, though taking a few hits from the guardsmen. Close getting out on the guardsman there on the retreating one, but the Tiger just couldn't quite do it. Another field gun waiting for Boris to help deal with the fascist heavy tank. Field gun there gets penetrating the Tiger tank. Machine gun coming up as well. And Grenadiers going for the field gun. T-54 to the rescue, covering up the flank here very nicely. Finally also pushing eastwards again there, Boris. Whatever I think would actually benefit from a few mortars that way, put pressure on Boris whenever we try to attack ahead. More mines would I think also be a pretty good choice there for whatever. There you go, slowing eastwards. Still no minesweepers. There you go, second field gun ready, second SIS-3. There you go, direct hit on the T-35 by the PAC-40. Target including fixed up. Another hit there. Boris punished a bit for sticking about those T-34 when he shouldn't have. Guardsman concentrating up. Ooh, not fully reinforced here. Forced to fall them back there to get them fully reinforced. Target tanks loading fixed up here. Still no additional pioneers, and only just one squad to do it. Very inefficient, very inefficient. Generally, again, you want two to really sort of at this stage have to just do your repairs. Maybe three of you really, want to do it really fast. And there you go, Telemine goes off, wiping out almost an entire conscript squad. Not a bad shot there at all. Need to go for that fuel. Probably needs more fuel for either T-35s or S-35s. Either way, he needs more fuel. There you go. Sniper gets a common engineer, blows his little cap off as well in the process. And there you go. He goes for more pioneers, but only first having lost the fast one. Not good there, whatever. Not good. 10 kills on the Russian mortar crew. Slowly racking them up there. For the motherland there, go roughing it off until you find just everything just going after those guardsmen. What would Boris or whatever go for next? He's playing taking more armor. There certainly seems to be not much happening there in terms of strategy. He just seems rather content just sitting on the 3 victory points. I mean, he can get away with it, but even then he would benefit from, digging in a bit. Maybe a few bunkers, maybe some more mines or something. Usually a good defensive strategy sort of build about having smaller forces defending each of the points, at least in my opinion, then building up a larger reserve that can counterattack, say from an unexpected angle. But so far it's more like he's just putting everything up right in the window for anyone to see at, which partly just ties down most of his forces, which of course makes it easier for the opponent just to bombard them, also know where they are, but also makes it hard for them to react to any sort of unexpected movements, like for example, say a sudden bigger push into the east, which is what Boris should be doing more. Maybe just leaving a small force to tie down whatever forces here as well. There we go, we got field guns, some other stuff here. While the major push happens in the east with most of his infantry in the tank. Sniper up in the field gun. 14 kills, definitely paying off there for whatever ever so slowly. And there you go, shoots at the Tiger tank, both shots bounce though. And loses another engineer squad here. Boris is definitely not having an easy time with those. And bombardments here. But has to fall back. There's just nothing now screening the field, just making an easy play for the fascists. T-34 moving in. Might have to deal with the hits of support. Sits in for the motherland. And there we go. Grenadier slowly being bled out, slowly. Pack shoots, misses back here, healing reinforcement on there for Boris in the east. Points being secured as well here. Slowly but surely. Grabbing there. Tiger tank on watch. Now suddenly making another push into the west, it looks like. Grenadiers there on watch are swiftly pushed away. Could see a white pick, maybe. T-35 has a good chance of doing it though. And no dice there though for Boris. No dice. Needs to be got the conscripts of the Grenadiers. No Molotovs here to flush them out. They do have anti-tank grenades, so doesn't help because of the German infantry. And there you go, Tiger tank. Oh, he pushes the field guns too far ahead here. Possibly big mistake here on Boris. They're quite exposed. We got anti-aircraft support once more called, or anti-tank support. Aircraft called in, good god. Field gun being shredded here by the 2 Zeus flanking it. Could see a wipe. We've got the 2 other field gun left running, covering fire for the first field gun as it desperately tries to preserve all of its knowledge gained. Guardsman moving up here. T-34 moving in as well, trying to further cover it up. There we go, buttoning it down. He's desperately doing anything to preserve that field gun crew, which is definitely a very good idea there. And finally gets the 2-2-2. Finally, and gains veteran field in the field, and that's going to be huge. Much better in penetration there versus German army, plus high rate of fire, meaning it's actually a big menace now to the Tiger tank. So Boris there, trying to preserve his field gun there, I think was very much the correct choice, as that's going to hurt Boris's, or whatever's Tiger tank. He's got the tech, but he's not built the heavy panzer score, he's not doing much with it. He's definitely taking things a bit too casually versus Boris. He's getting a bit too comfortable. Now the T-45 on the way there for Boris. Meaning he's going to rely primarily, I think, on the field gun to deal with the Tiger tank. Going to do his MB42 moving ahead here. Slow but sure push. Going westwards, got the mortar there ready. Ground points as well. You can see their Boris is just trying to put as much pressure as he can. But of course, now needs to remember there's an eastern side of the map as well. They certainly seem quite easy to be forgetting about that part. Starting with the can there, veteran T3, 25 kills, taking the dirt. And there goes second T45 ready here. Mortar fire laying down on the grenadiers. Mortar is definitely, I think, paying off here nicely for Boris, getting some tactical edges here and there. They could be using the smoke a bit more. Need to get those T-45s mobile. Victory points wise, it's a bit behind here for Boris, to put it mildly. There goes Snowball staying up with the mortar round, but not quite. T-45 going for the grenadiers there. Tearing into the ruthless of the machine gun, the main gun. Leaving a few chances there for survivors. There you go, almost wiping out the grenadier squad there. Field guns moving out. Wiping the grenadiers, slaughtering them and moving. Oh, two grenadier squads wipes here. Whatever, clearly getting a bit overwhelmed here by Boris' attack. Mortar being further pushed ahead here. Boris knows no mercy for his own men. But we artillery, your frontline artillery now. But no buts. You'll be Gulag artillery next. Okay. Oh, and tank grenade failed to make much of an impact on the Tiger tank. Did you hear something, Heinz? 9. Probably just some insects. Sniper there with 26 kills. Though he might not last much longer, since he's pretty much just flaunting it a bit too much in front of the rations. T-45s there being repaired. Tiger tank also doing repairs. He's actually got 2 pioneers, fortunately, whereas Boris has not replaced his lost engineers. Granted, some more the manpower bleed is not too helpful for that. And there you go. Finally, the heavy panzer goes up there for whatever. We'll be going for the Panther, the Sturmpanzer, or the Panzerwerfers. That's the big question here. Needs there you go. Got T-45 going for the Grenadiers here, but there's a Pack 48 to support their veteran too. Landing several excellent hits against the T-45. Briefly considered a Panzerwerfer, but looks like he wants a Panther here, possibly a Sturmpanzer. I mean, a Panther would certainly, given the further nature there, versus the T-45 belongs, doesn't do anything terrible with it. Whereas your Sturmpanzer would be helpful versus the field guns and all the infantry supporting. And of course be supporting in sort of just attacking as well. Sort of very slow movements from both players, sort of looking to just, you know, slowly gain an edge here and there. Neither player clearly intent on making any sort of big gains. Whoops, accidentally ordered his tank not to shoot at all. Got the Tiger tank up there straight to the field gun now. Second field gun hits with it again. Veteran free. Sniper creeping ahead though. And of course he's focusing down the heroic field gun crew there, trying to snuff them out as fast as possible, deny them the experience, and again it is a major threat to his armour. Whatever they're following up with the Panther, a Panzerkampfwagen 5. T-45 coming in, they'll have a Boris react to the arrival of a Panther on top of the Tiger tank, and that's going to be quite a challenge there for Boris, unless whatever somehow gets super overconfident and does something really silly with the Panther. we could see a wipe here. That's going to leave whatever with only just one infantry squad. And there you go. Down he goes. No survivors. So while he might have an arm advantage, infantry-wise, he's going to be struggling a bit there since Boris does have now increasingly a bunch more infantry. And infantry advantages actually do matter as well quite a bit there. Pack 4 they're being slowly wiped out. Field is also edging ahead here. Tight, need to fall back. Oh, taking heavy damage here again. The ace field and crew is proving to be quite the obstacle there for whatever's tanks. And the lack of infantry sort of pull through, that's not helping. Could at least go for relief infantry, get some more from getting the light machine guns up. Instead, he's just tossing away his infantry. Not good there. Guardsman wiped though. But lost the 2-2, which was also in this case clearly being used as spot for his anti-tank guns. Either way, got the Panther here. Panzerkampfwagen 5 mobilized. Moving ahead there rapidly. Needs to be careful not to extend it. Whatever. 4-6, 4-6. It's a Panther, not a Tiger tank. And he's using it like it is a Tiger tank. A really fast one, but also not quite as amazing in closer quarters. Pretty risky maneuver. He clearly wants to snuff out the T-45 here, but he's also risking losing his Panther if he makes any mistake. And even if he gets the T-45, the problem is, I mean, if you then still lose the Panther, it's been a terrible trade here for whatever, since the Panther's much more expensive than the T-45. We even got Mark vehicle here on it. That should have been his first cue to just get the hell out of there. But in this case, it does successfully extricate the Panther without, getting it blown up. I mean, the Panther's overall advantage was it had a high, penetration gun, which is also really accurate, and it had long range. Plus the armor there, so Jimmy didn't want you to get close and ugly with your Panther. You wanted using it from as far away distance as possible, while keeping the front towards the enemy. So just, barging in like that is not the most effective use of the Panther or whatever. Definitely not playing to its strengths at all. Tiger tank moving up here, we got a blitzkrieg in there, whatever. It's finally stepping up from passive aggression to actual aggression. Going here for the T-45s. Needs to be careful again, he does no extend. I mean, he's got no infantry to support the tanks. He's also still short on infantry, though so is Boris by now as well. Pull back the Tiger, pull back the Tiger. Schnell. Schnell. And there you go, T-45 rams it. His veteran T-45 as well, that. Panther receiving repairs. Should probably move up to support there. Tiger tank. Ooh, shot missed. Second shot bounced. Lucky there for whatever. Pack 4 support, but there you go. Disengaging. 101 points left here for Boris. Panther moving up. And watch for Deutschland. And there you go. Panzerwerfer up here with support weapons. I mean, he's almost got 2 veteran 3 field guns. That's definitely a problem there for whatever's armor, as they can very quickly cleave through the German tanks. More guardsmen out here for Boris. Quickly filling up the ranks for the next big push. T-44s need repairs. Good hit in the field gun, but not quite good enough. Tank can need some repairs. They're shooting in these. We've got the T-44 moving up here, engaging the Grenadiers and easily obliterating them. Got the machine gun moving up here. And Panther's sending up for flank, maybe, but gotta be careful there, gotta be careful. He needs infantry. This is really the situation maybe do great with some Panther Grenadiers, since they're quite used to cleaning up, support weapons like that. There's a definite that, and there you go, Panther barrage on the field guns. Ooh, devastating strike. He takes out he takes out both field gun crews there. Massive blow there to Boris. Massive, considerable. A crushing blow that leaves him without, his primary assets. They've just tanked through the Tiger tank and the Panther's armor. I mean, he can easily crew them, but he can't gain that veteran 3 back. That's just so crucial on the anti-tank guns. So that was an absolutely massive strike there for whatever. Panther desperate trying to get away there. Whatever definitely needs to be more cautious with it. Though part of it is simply a lack of proper infantry support. I mean, in this regard, Panzer Grenadiers do work. I think the best they're going to do with G43s can work out as well. T-45 going in there. Panther shoots, gets a penetrating hit, but the T-45 could swarm it. Tiger tank them engaged as well here. He could flank it with the T-45. He could do the Panther can't easily get away. Instead, gauges the front on. That is... Oh, there we go. Sees the opportunity, realises there is an opportunity to go for the Panther here with the T-45s. Whatever, they're just not handling his Panther too well. And we can see he's losing the Pioneers to the machine guns as they go through the Panther. Tiger tank flank here, but he's getting a damaged engine as well here. Good God. Whatever just had an advantage, and it's just all vanishing here. He might get one T-54, but it's going to end up losing Tiger tank on top of the Panther, and eventually 2 Tiger at that. An absolutely devastating engagement here for whatever. Highlighting that overconfidence, as always, is actually a pretty fast killer, not very slow and insidious. At least not in company of heroes. Another Panther of Barrage Orphy. Almost gets some white, but that has been some pretty crucial blows there. Again, part of the issue is just the lack of infantry support his tanks, and the fact he just keeps using the Panthers aggressively as he does, not really playing to its strengths, and of course not supporting its flanks. I mean, had he kept some Panther guns, anything ready to support that Panther, it would have probably not quite the state it ended up in, where the Boris could just rush it with the T-45s. Still, whatever might have a chance here. But the question is, going to try and go for another Tiger tank, or is it going to go for a Panther? What will whatever aim for? Whatever will he go for? Really, whatever. What a lame name. And it's going to use it as the gas with a quick grenade here off from the Grenadier. Ooh, close, but not quite. He goes for the Stug. Not a bad choice as such, but he should have been going for a lot more Stugs then, faster rather than now waiting here where things are just falling apart. His opponent has 2 T-45s on, he's got nothing. And I really think he should go for relief infantry just to get some sort of infantry out there. He just needs to flood the field with cheap troops, just going to sort of push the frontage more aggressively. Sadly, it seems like he's just one of those people who just go for it primarily for the Tiger tank, the air support, maybe the G-45s, but never considers relief infantry as something worthwhile. There you go, though. Good use of incendiary pistol rounds again. They're shredding the guardsmen, turning them to a fine minced meat with a slight tinge of phosphorus and other chemicals. Now the T-45 on the Boris. Sturmgeschützeffekt bereit. Will be enough to turn the tide here for whatever once more. Panzer for repositioning, needs to probably reposition into a rule less exposed position. Bad luck here. He was going to catch the guards and wipe them. And now pulls away through the worst possible angle there, exposing to the T-45, which easily wipes it. Stug opening up here. Gets a nice hit. We've got an ace T-45. That's really bad news there for whatever, to be honest. Panther fast off. Damages the engine. Stug Grenadiers are being murdered by the guardsmen. It is looking pretty horrendous here for whatever. Pretty horrendous. Stug, they're going for it. We got Conscript moving up. They went to tank grenades. Oh dear, he's got too close. And the Stug is kaput. And there you go. Whatever surrenders. Game over here. Lost for the Wehrmacht. A loss for Germany. A brutal fight right here on Crossing in the Woods. Whatever had some good potential here and there, but in the end I feel like he just didn't quite plan ahead long enough for the long fight. No caches, no bunkers, no mines, and also just at times I think a too passive approach. They're just waiting easily for the Tiger tank, not putting up pressure. Now he could have probably gone away with a Panther faster, Sturmpanzer. But there are a lot of things I feel like he just shouldn't have said about a bit too long. Again, maybe just felt like he just had such an upper hand who just take it casually. It's a bit hard to say that. Boris though, I think too focused initially wasn't good enough. I think it's shifting, overall approach of attack. That's really what you want to do with the rations. Instead, he settled into sort of concept of strength that initially wasn't very good for him. In some amounts, it turns out they're partly just whatever's mistakes, but certainly was a bit closer. Still, he managed his tanks well in his field guns until the Panzer barrage took him out. And I definitely say the mortar was a pretty good choice as well for Boris. So there's definitely some good play, but there's also, I think, some flaws appearing here and there in both sides' gameplay. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send a replay and apart some feedback in the comment section. You can send a replay there via the links in the video description. You can also find out you can donate or pledge on Patreon. So thank you all for watching. You're all a wonderful audience, and I hope to see you all tomorrow again for another funny episode. Bye.